Look carefully at the timer on your screen. You have exactly 5 seconds to decide the fate of 2 people. And the choice you make right now will reveal the part of your mind that you hide even from yourself. If you take more than 5 seconds, you've already lost. You are just another predictable member of the crowd. But if you decide instantly, you might belong to the 3% who see the world as it really is, a chessboard where morality is just a disposable piece. Imagine you've spent 5 years in an elite company. Your boss, a powerful and admired man, made a $1 billion mistake. He has already chosen someone to blame, one of your colleagues, a young talent with 2 small children who will be fired and have his life destroyed tomorrow morning. Due to your boss's carelessness, you have obtained the digital proof that he is the only one responsible. You have the file now. The clock is ticking. What do? Don't answer what is ethical. Answer what your instinct decided before I even finished speaking. If your first visceral reaction was to save the innocent colleague, your brain operates in what neuroscience calls empathic biological conformity. You are what society defines as a good person. But through the lens of Carl Jung, you are simply a reflection of the collective need for harmony, a functional piece within the system. Your amygdala triggered a signal of injustice, and your need to maintain group harmony overpowered your instinct for advancement. You prioritize the well-being of others over your own strategic advantage. Most of the world works this way, and it is this instinct that ensures society does not collapse into absolute chaos. However, if you hesitated, if your first thought was not rescue but the calculation of the risk of exposing a superior, you have already stepped outside conventional morality and entered the field of pure risk analysis. You began to weigh the value of a life against the weight of a career. There is, however, a third path, much darker and more effective. If in less than 5 seconds you visualize the possibility of not handing over the proof to either your colleague or the company, but instead keeping it as a tool of absolute control over your boss, you possess what psychologist Martha Stout classifies as reduced affective processing. You did not see someone being wronged. You saw a definitive lever of power. The use of information to create forced indebtedness is the preferred technique of individuals with traits of the so-called dark triad: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and functional psychopathy. Did you instantly understand that having a superior in eternal debt is far more valuable than saving a colleague who would soon be forgotten? You don't play by the rules, you play to obtain results that favor your own position. This speed of response separates the latent predator from the passive observer. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt explains that most people possess a mechanism where emotion decides first and reason invents a logical justification afterward. But in your case, if your choice was cold strategy, the order reversed. Your logic overran emotion before you could even feel pity for the colleague or fear of your boss's authority. Carl Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Fourth, this is known in neuroscience as limbic silencing. It is a characteristic present in elite surgeons, high-risk negotiators, and leaders who must make decisions that affect thousands of lives without hesitation. These individuals look at a tragedy and see only variables. For this kind of mind, as Carl Jung would interpret it, the fired colleague does not represent a destroyed life, but a necessary cost for gaining control over the hierarchy above you. Let's go deeper into this mirror. Suppose that when you approach your boss discreetly, he does not appear intimidated. Instead, he reveals that he monitors your communications and knows about an ethical mistake you made in the past. Now the dynamic has changed. It is no longer about gaining advantage, but about avoiding mutual destruction. How does your mind behave under this pressure? The average person would immediately panic and attempt to form a peace agreement just to escape the situation. But the Machiavellian mind does not retreat. It realizes that the boss's counterattack is the ultimate proof of weakness and desperation. If you thought of a way to neutralize his threat before he even finished his sentence, you are operating in an advanced mode of social survival engineering. You do not see conflict as something to be avoided, but as a filtering process where the most capable prevail over the slow and predictable. Studies from Harvard University demonstrate that although everyone claims to value justice, our subconscious is evolutionarily trained to value strength and strategic utility. Deep within your mental architecture, there exists a hierarchy of value that dictates that some careers are more expendable than others in pursuit of a greater objective. The fundamental difference is that most people spend their lives denying this part of themselves, using masks of virtue to avoid confronting their own dark reflection, what Carl Jung described as the shadow. But you, having reached this point without feeling physical discomfort or paralyzing guilt, demonstrate a clarity that is both a tool of conquest and a factor of isolation. You see the structure where others see chaos. The real danger does not lie in having these thoughts. Strategic thinking is an ancestral biological process, an inheritance from survivors who had to quickly decide whom to sacrifice so the group would not die. The real danger is ignorance of one's own nature. A self-aware predator has the option to act ethically despite their instincts. They master their own darkness and use it with precision. On the other hand, the individual who possesses these traits but lives in denial ends up acting in a disordered way and leaving a trail of destruction without understanding the reason for their loneliness. This test is not meant to measure your moral character, which is a social construction often filled with hypocrisy. It is meant to measure your raw mental wiring and your capacity to respond under pressure. By analyzing the colleague, the boss, and the evidence, you discovered whether you are the person who passively waits for justice or the person who creates it according to necessity. Society needs both profiles to function, but only one truly understands the hidden gears that move the world behind appearances. If you responded to the scenarios with speed and total focus on strategic advantage, you possess a mind that psychology observes with caution. You are not necessarily a bad person, but you are dangerous to those who try to manipulate you. You see the invisible threads of the situation, and those who see these threads never again accept the role of being just another puppet in someone else's theater. The question now is not what you would do in that fictional office, but what you are doing at this very moment with the people around you. The logic of leverage and positioning is not limited to work. It applies to friendships, relationships, and family dynamics. 1 in every 25 people you know operates under this same logic of human cost and benefit. They do not seek real connection. They seek favorable positioning. They do not seek affection. They seek emotional assets that can be converted into security or power. Now that you have had this glimpse of brutal reality, it is no longer possible to ignore it. You are part of the group that prefers uncomfortable truth over comforting lies. In the game of life, clarity is the only advantage that truly separates those who lead from those who are led. If what you felt was a deep calm and recognition, then you understand what it means to walk through the world with your eyes open, while everyone else blindly navigates through the darkness. You have stepped out of the darkness. Now you know what you are capable of when the lights go out and the masks fall. See you in the next analysis of the dark mind.